Boom. Uh. Lee Saunders, Tina G, Kathleen Cross, that damn Alaskan, Fox Hill Dreams, Jamie from Wisconsin, Stella Baxter, Nurse Mitch, Cather Murphy, Mia to you, Maureen Otto, Cindy C, Misha Oliver, and me, BDD in the Heezy. Susie Brizuela, Monique Lee, The Trump Reaper, Chrissy M, Valerie G, Lisa Hathaway, Eddie G, Cha-Cha, Julian Gauthier, Peter is a boss, Samantha Hawkins, Punkster Tawny Moo, Scribble My Dibble, Drew Peacock, Sarah B, Maital Cabelli, Bernadette, Rose Cologne, Lori B, Stephanie L. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka BrooklynDad, and this is Storytime. Gling, gling. Welcome. Happy Wednesday, aka Happy Hump Day, and apparently happy birthday to Bernadette. Happy birthday, Bernadette. Well, today is your day, so congratulations for another trip around the sun. Who else do we have here? David Shaw says, hello from Iowa. Hello, David. M. Getz is here. Stephanie L. Wojo Mom is with us. Let's see. I'm seeing some grumpy folks here in the crowd. It's all right. It's gonna be all right. We will get through this. We have a news flash from Tina G saying Karen Purdy will not be here today. She was tested positive for COVID and is not feeling well. Guys, you know what to do. This is our very own Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio. So prayers all the way up. Let's help our friend Karen to get well as soon as possible. The wifey is here too. Hello, wifey. Hello. Let's see, who do we have? Teresa Plash is here. Sandra from Paramount, California is here. Okay. So thank you all for joining me here. While we got our prayers up for Karen Purdy, let's do a brief review of our stories of the day.
Stories of the day.
The Electoral College. We need to get it out of here. It needs to be abolished. Let's talk about why. Tomorrow marks the 1-year anniversary of January 6th, where this dumbass actually had to be convinced not to have a speech. The January 6th committee wants to talk to a certain Sean Hannity. Our guessing game for today is name that musician in the movies. In the movies. And last but not least, today's rising star. Yes, I said rising star, damn it. It's Merrick Garland. Yeah, I know some folks are not going to be happy with that, but it is what it is. It's my show. I get to say who's rising star and who's a raggedy bitch. And today, Merrick Garland is a rising star. Look, he's been my raggedy bitch before, and I have been impatient and critical of him. To our friendly moderators, I see some definitely what looks like a bot here with some Russian Cyrillic lettering in the name, and then it says VUN.FYI in the comment. I've seen stuff like that before. Those are bots. Please to remove. Please get the bot out of the room. Thank you so kindly to our wonderful moderators. We love you so much. Gavin Rutherford has joined us, ladies and gentlemen, as has Ness from Connecticut. Kayleen Thompson is joining us. Let's see. We got Sherry Scary in the house. Zibbidi-bidi-bidi. And I see a whole lot of welcomes. Wilbur McCarthy is here. That's our dog lover buddy. Tina G got that bot. Got that bot. Shel Teresa, Kimberly Moss. That damn Karen is making a rare appearance here. Petty Deb from Arizona. Welcome, you guys. And Corey Lord is here right on time. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our random stuff. You know how I like to do. Okay, so you guys have followed me, as we discussed in the previous show, followed me and wifey throughout our whole fantasy football season, where we learned that wifey is third place. She finished in third in our hey, your boy Ken, there, I see you there, in our league. So one of my friends, whom I've probably known for about 16 years now, known him for 16 years. He's been in my fantasy football league at least 10 years. I brought him in. He moved down to Florida, and he sent me a text yesterday, and he was like, "Bro, was that really wifey in in our league?" Like, he didn't send me a text the whole entire season, and right when the season's over, he sent me a text like, "Was that really your wife?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And so I gave him a call. He asked me to give me a call, and we did a little touch base with each other. His name is Albert. Very good guy. Solidly good guy. Wife, 2 kids. One of his kids, whose face I've blurred in this next image here because he's underage. I don't have permission. He has a copy of The Littlest President, and he loves it. Albert says he still loves to play with the book. So anyway, Albert, I just learned yesterday, spent the whole past year in chemo and radiation treatments. He was stage 3 cancer. I didn't even know. Did not even know. This brother, he said, like, it was in his throat. It was throat cancer. And they said the most aggressive treatment would be the best option for him to save his vocal cords. So he went through severe extreme radiation and chemo. It worked. The cancer is now in remission, and now he gets to spend, foreseeable future watching his little boy grow up, which is just, it's beautiful. You want to see your kids grow up as long as possible. So I share this with you guys, you ladies and gentlemen, as a message, as a PSA, a public service announcement. Please get yourselves checked out, because early detection is the best. It gives you the best chance at finding out if something's wrong with you and if you can deal with it early enough. Albert found out early enough. 1 year, he lost 100 pounds, he said. Like, wow, but now he's on the mend. He's on his way, on his road to recovery. God bless him. Meanwhile, I told you he's living in Florida, and he's like, he said in the area that he works, where he lives is reliably Democratic, but where he works, he sees a lot of F Joe Biden flags out there. So where did he say? He's in the Palm Beach area. South Palm Beach, possibly? Anyway. So Wifey and I have been watching a great deal of Seinfeld. Oh my goodness, we got another Russian bot in our midst. I can't even pronounce what the name of this bot is, but you'll see it. You'll spot it. Anyway, the 90s, hello Studio LB. The 90s was that period for me that I was completely out of pocket. There were shows that were extremely popular, like Seinfeld, like Friends, that came up in the 90s that I was 100% unaware of. Somebody asked me yesterday, because I posted about Seinfeld, they were like, dude, are you just discovering these shows? And I was like, well, not really, but yeah, I was messed up in the 90s. If I wasn't in college, I was in the street, homeless because of a drug problem, so, didn't have a TV, didn't care about TV. So anyway, Seinfeld is funny as hell, even though it's frustrating to watch. But, there's they have a whole lot of situations that are hysterical. Have I done Frasier yet? No, Lee Saunders, I haven't. Wifey is a big fan of Frasier, so I will make my way over to that. This episode here was a Chinese restaurant where the three of them are attempting to get a table, and the maitre d' keeps seating everyone but them. And George is trying to make a phone call. The payphone, he wanders a bit too far from the payphone, and as soon as the guy gets off, another woman beats him to the payphone. And he's like, hey, I was going to use that phone. And she says, well, too bad. George is like, we live in a society. It's funny. It's a funny ass show. There's another episode, another one involving George, right? And this one kind of got me, right? George is taking his sweet ass time backing into a spot. Now, if you live in New York, you live in an urban area, parallel parking, you back into your spot, right? You back in. If you're trying to do a frontal pull-in, that's bullshit, especially if you see somebody trying to back into that spot. So, this came up, and I was like, I'm all into this now. I'm like, I'm making sensible arguments. Like the Chinese restaurant's like, that's not fair. He should get his seat. This one, no way. You can't pull frontal into a parking spot. That's bullshit. Another one. These guys, same three. Oh, actually, it's all four of them. Kramer is off somewhere. They went to a shopping mall and forgot where they had parked their car. this is ridiculous. I would never, and wifey and I were like, yeah, I always take a picture. I always take a picture of where I've left the car. Mind you, this is in the 70s, the 90s, where they didn't yet have picture-taking cell phones. Another hilarious episode where they're on the subway and Elaine is on her way to an important meeting. And I can't tell you, if I had $1 for every time I was going somewhere important and the train stops in between stations, I'd be rich. And she's like having this internal dialogue where she's screaming at the conductor. And yeah, I've been there. So it's a funny show where you can kind of relate, even though Seinfeld like blows it way out of proportion. But yeah, fantastic show. And then last night, wifey and I started watching a movie. This is an old movie. This came out in 2010, but it's starring Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, but most importantly, the star of the show is Haley Steinfeld from Hawkeye and from a bunch of other things. She is a phenomenal actress. If you haven't seen True Grit yet, it's worth watching this movie just for her performance alone. Yeah, it's got some big stars, but they all pale in comparison to Miss Steinfeld. Now, this is a remake of a movie that originally started John Wayne, Pilgrim, and Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy, Glenn Campbell, Kim Darby, whoever she is, True Grit. Anyway, this movie is about her daddy. Her daddy was killed, murdered, and she wants to get justice for her father. So she's 14 years old. She is far from home, but she goes to negotiate the details of her father's estate and what he's owed. And she is powerful. It's a phenomenal little girl who grows up quickly. You gotta check it out. True Grit. Check it out. The others are pretty good. Jeff Bridges is funny as this drunken U.S. Marshal who kind of has his wits about him, but he's a broken dude. And Matt Damon plays this guy, LaBeef, who is kind of a tracker, and he's okay. Again, not the most important character. It is Haley Steinfeld. Check out this show, this movie. And last but not least, I only just found out last night that I missed the episode of Blackish, which wifey and I have also been watching, that aired last night. Michelle Obama is on the show, so I'm definitely going to be checking this out at some point soon. And that's it for our random stuffs. Yeah, couldn't believe when I found out that that Blackish aired a new episode and Michelle Obama was on it. I was like, I don't get to use that one enough. So let's see. All right, good. All right, let's jump into our quick hits. Yeah, you son of a bee. Yeah. Okay, Peter is a boss. Apparently watched Blackish last night and said it was good. It's good. I don't care how it was. I'm going to watch it anyway. You could have told me it was the worst episode that ever aired in the history of television, and I'd be like, thank you for sharing. Delaska Curtis, apparently, is another bot. I don't know why these bots are coming to the show. I didn't order these bots. You need to leave. All right. Quick hits. Spanky McDumbass. So as I mentioned earlier, tomorrow is the 1 year anniversary of January 6th, and we all know what happened January 6th was that Congress was to be in session to deal with the electors and the votes and all that, and all hell broke loose after Spanky McDumbass made his ill-fated, ill-timed speech, or perhaps the speech was timed perfectly because the end result of the mayhem erupting at the U.S. Capitol building is exactly what he wanted, to disrupt the counting of the votes and the confirmation of Joe Biden as our new duly elected president. So, most of the people that have already been apprehended, they claimed the president invited us, right? So this jackass had plans on making yet another speech tomorrow on the anniversary of January 6th. Now, he's been booted off of all social media. And he is persona non grata. People do not want him around. You might think they do because they're kind of kowtowing, but secretly, in private circles, Republicans are like, we don't need this. We do not need a speech from him on January 6th. So, apparently, Laura Ingraham had something to do with getting word to Spanky McDumbass that not a good idea, to have the speech. Apparently, they passed the message on to him that if he did have a speech tomorrow, it was going to be poorly attended and he would have little to no coverage, which would kind of look something like so he opted out. He decided not to have the speech. You get no credit, Spanky. You get no credit for not burning down the house. You don't. You don't get credit for not doing the thing that you're not supposed to do anyway. Okay? Ness from Connecticut, thank you, my friend, for the kind donation. Thank you. Meanwhile, the January 6th Select Committee wants Fox News mouthpiece and Trump ass-kisser Sean Hannity, a.k.a. Shamity, to volunteer to cooperate with their investigation. So apparently word has gotten out in previous weeks that around January 6th, on January 6th, and before January 6th, Shamity was concernicus about how things were playing out with Trump and his whole fantastical delusion about the big lie in the election. Sean Hannity is as guilty as the next Fox personality of helping to spread the fantasy, the big lie thing. But behind closed doors, he knew reality. He knew what the reality was, and he wasn't doing Spanky, his audience of one, any favors by helping to proliferate this thing. So, he was trying to, Sean Hannity was trying to communicate with shot callers and anybody in Trump's immediate orbit to get him to stop the attack. He was like, can he make a statement? Can he ask people to leave the Capitol? This is a text message he sent to Mark Meadows, his chief of staff. He also texted prior to January 6th, he texted that he was very worried about the next 48 hours. So there's no word on whether or not Sean Hannity has taken the January 6th Select Committee up on their offer to do a voluntary cooperation. Who knows? But it seems like a lot of the text messages they want to confirm the details of what went down. Sean Hannity is in possession of those. Like, if he says he doesn't want to, again, you guys are Congress. You have the power of subpoena his ass, Here's another text message. I do not see January 6th happening the way he is being told. After the 6th, he should announce he will lead the nationwide effort to reform voting integrity. Go to Florida and watch Joe mess up daily. Stay engaged. When he speaks, people will listen. Yeah, well, he obviously did not get that text or memo or whatever. Too bad. Last night, I don't know if any of you guys around 6:30, 6:45 were watching Ari Melber's show. Ari Melber, The Beat on MSNBC. It was interesting. And normally, I don't pay attention. It's like, if I see somebody like Peter Navarro on TV, I'm changing the channel, right? But since I've given up CNN, it's like my options are limited. I just either turn the TV off entirely or switch it to Seinfeld or whatever. But I was like, you know what? I'm busy. I was working on something, so I just let it play. And all of a sudden, I hear Peter Navarro talking about some shit, and I was like, oh, yo, this dude is like giving up the details. What? Here, let me play it for you. Hold on a second. Let me just turn this sound effect off a little bit. Okay. Here's Peter Navarro last night.
Rather than through the Electoral College to the House of Representatives. And all this required was peace and calm on Capitol Hill. And at 1 p.m., Senator Ted Cruz, and Gosar, a representative, started the Green Bay sweep beautifully, challenging the results of Arizona. Here's the most important thing I can tell you about this. The thing that we were trying to deal with was a media which refused to acknowledge any kind of possible fraud or irregularities.
Right. And we'll get into it. I've given you, Peter. I've given you some time here, and I think you've explained that. And I'm going to follow up here, and I want us to have a back and forth, but that involves both of us. You just described you just described this plan as a way to take an election where the outcome was established by independent secretaries of state, by the voters of those states, and legal remedies have been exhausted with the Supreme Court never even taking, let alone siding with, any of the claims that you just referred to. So legally, they went nowhere. And then you're describing a way that the incumbent... Hold on. You will get your turn. I just let you go for a while. Let's go this back and forth, sir. Then you will use the incumbent losing party's power, that was the Republican Party that was losing power, to overtake and reverse that outcome. Do you realize you are describing a coup?
No, I totally reject many of your premises there. First of
it doesn't matter if you reject it, man. If we show you a picture of a chicken, and you look at it and you reject that that's a chicken, well, that's on you. It doesn't change the fact that that's a chicken. If it walks like a coup, if it looks like a coup, it sounds like a coup, it acts like a coup, it's a coup, fool. So, yeah, I kind of like how things are slowly but surely unfolding. It's incredible. And I don't think Merrick Garland is letting any of this shit go by. He's got somebody, on speed dial. He's like, did you catch Ari Melber? Yeah, get that, line that up too. Speaking of Merrick Garland. So today, Merrick Garland had a press conference today. and it was good. I thought it was very good. And basically, he said, "We're working on it. Be patient. We got a lot of facts to sift through. We're going after the big fish. Hold on to your horses. Calm yourselves." Basically, that was it. There was more. And I'm going to get to that in our Rising Star segment. I just want to touch on this briefly. But he says the facts, we're going to follow the facts. The facts are going to take us to where the investigation needs to go next. We're not going to be politically motivated. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. You see what I did? This is from Monday's show. All right, next. French President Macron yesterday raised some eyebrows as he announced that to deal with the unvaccinated, he says, "I really want to piss them off, and we'll carry on doing this to the end." A lot of people were like, "Wait, what? But you're the president. That doesn't sound right." Yeah, he wants to piss them off. What is he gonna do? What do you mean, piss them off? "I will replace their baguettes with soggy ones. When addressing them, I will only dress in cliché French attire, even the mustache and the beret." No, I mean what he means is that he's going to make it difficult for anti-vaxxers to enjoy the things that the rest of us get to enjoy. Like if you want to go out to a cafe, you want to go to a restaurant, you want to go to the gym, you want to go to the theater, you can't do that stuff if you're unvaccinated. That's what he means. So, I'm not even sure how I feel about this anymore, to be frank, to be perfectly honest with you. I understand, naturally, I've been pushing the notion that we need to get people on board, but I feel like right now, we're just, those who understand the benefits from being vaccinated, I think we've already sifted through. So right now, we're just butting heads, and like these people are not going to change their minds. They're not going to move. They will not be moved. The harder we push, the deeper they dig their heels in. So what's happening? Do we just accept that there's a certain percentage of the population that are going to die from this, that they're going to get it, and that we just have to live with COVID? Is that the next step? I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, I'm grateful that I'm vaccinated, double vaccinated, and I'm boosted. On the other hand, I'm like, well, I got a booster last month, but maybe 6 months from now, I need another booster, and then another booster 6 months down from there. And, science is figuring things out, but, these things are changing, and it makes us look ridiculous. The more things change, as we're saying, I don't even know. I don't know. Healthcare workers are quitting because they're exhausted from the overwhelming number of unvaccinated people showing up that need service at the hospital. This is tough. I'm glad I'm not in charge of what happens next, but we'll see how it goes with Merrick Garland and his threat to piece them off. Okay, that's it for our quick hits. Let's jump. Oh man, I went a little bit over. Let's jump right on into our timeline and cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Punxsutawney Mo says, just say Darwin away, dude. That's to Macron's situation. Okay. Timeline cleanse. Have you guys seen the videos of like the goat screaming? I still, to this day, I don't know if that's real. It's a goat. You see him going, ah! Or something. It sounds like a human scream. I don't know what is the deal with goats. Why they sound so human. Usually you just hear them. But here's one that this goat speak sounds suspiciously human. What? Let me holler at you, man. I just want to say blah, 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 blah. What? What? Seriously. I feel like people are messing with us. They're like dubbing over. And if you guys are going to mess with us, at least, well, that's actually kind of realistic. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. Mia to you says that's resting goat face for sure. That's clever. I like it. I like it very much. All right, moving right along. This next clip here. Meredith Powell says the power of Christ compels him. In this next clip, you'd be surprised the things that you can accomplish with just 5 seconds. 5 seconds doesn't seem like that much, but if it's at the end of a tough basketball game, anything is possible with 5 seconds.
You got 5 seconds. Say, oh, no!
So much happened. She's dribbling. She loses the ball. Somebody else loses it. She hurls it. And it goes in. She hurled it with her left. Oh, that was the right. Excuse me. With the right. That's crazy. It looked like she was just trying to keep it inbounds. That's the craziest three-pointer. Unintentional. That's amazing. This is amazing. Kudos to that young lady. All right. Last but not least, this next one is from our friend Philosophy, who, once again, I have not seen him in the audience. I do, however, see Jen Murphy, Julianne Goutier. I don't think I said hi to you guys earlier, so hello. Garden Always is here. This last one is from Philosophy, a.k.a. Jonathan Slater. And this is one of those cool domino trick things, but using lipsticks. That's a whole lot of lipstick. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, the patience required to build such a tower. How long did that take? That's incredible. It almost seems impossible. But there it is, right in front of our face. Whoa. Whoa. And the fact that we have music in the background telling us it's exciting, it makes it even more exciting. Yes, Lee Saunders says that's just a big mess to clear afterwards. Why lipstick? I don't know. Maitel Cabelli thinks it looks digital. I think it does too, especially at the end. The last couple of seconds, I choose to believe it really happened. That's just me. Yeah, it's just me. I like to believe impossible things like that 5-second shot for that was kind of impossible, but it happened. And goats talking blah 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 blah. You come here for the timeline cleanse. I give you the impossible, improbable things. Thank you for watching the timeline cleanse. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That's the like button. Please remember to do that. It helps this show out tremendously. You don't even know. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Help us out. Thank you so kindly. All right. Next up, let's jump on into our main topic of the day. It's the Electoral College. Yes, Jamie. Smash it. Smash that like button. Every 4 years, usually in presidential election years, the debate over the usefulness of the Electoral College. Oh, we got Heer Sayal from London. Hello, Heer Sayal. We also have Lee Saunders in London as well. Yeah, let's face it. The Electoral College is a very shitty process. It consists of 538 electors, right? Majority of 270 electoral votes is required to elect the president. That's the only election where we need 270 to name the winner. Now, each state, excuse me, has the same number of electors as it does members of the congressional delegation. So, one for each member of the House of Representatives plus 2 senators. This process has given us presidents in the past who never even won the popular vote, like George W. Bush in the year 2000 or Spanky McDumbass in 2016. In fact, in history, we've had a total of 5 presidents who lost the popular vote. We had John Q. Adams in 1824. He lost by 38,000 popular votes. 1876, Rutherford B. Hayes lost by 250,000 popular votes. 1888, Benjamin Harrison lost by 90,000 popular votes. And in 2000, George W. Bush lost by 540,000. And as you all know, 2016, Trump lost by 3 million. I mean, come on. Come on. Now, the last election we had, 2020, Joe Biden, not only did he win the popular vote by like a shit-kicking 7 million votes, but he also he also won the Electoral College by a shit ton as well. Yeah? This is almost the exact same margin that Spanky beat Hillary in 2016. I don't know why I put air quotes. It's in history. It's in the history books. He did beat Hillary in the Electoral College in 2016. Somehow he did. Despite losing by 3 million votes. It's crazy. So despite the fact that Joe in 2020 won both the popular and the Electoral College, Trump and Republicans weren't going to let a silly little thing like facts and numbers get in the way of their insanity, and they endeavored to flip the election results in spite of the Electoral College, which, like a freaking dinosaur, every 4 years it pops out. Wait, dinosaurs don't pop out every 4 years, but this thing is antiquated and stupid. It serves no purpose. even Alexander Hamilton, who was in the room where it happened, he helped craft the Electoral College back in the day. He started trying to get rid of the Electoral College all the way back in 1802. In fact, throughout history, Congress has been trying unsuccessfully to get rid of the Electoral College. You know how many times? 700 times. 700 times our Congress has endeavored to attempt to get rid of the Electoral College. I don't think we should stop trying to get rid of it. I think it's a horrible thing. In 1968, racist George Wallace ran in a third-party bid, and he pretty much knew. Yeah, glad to have you here, Sayal. Thank you for joining us. He knew he couldn't win in a conventional way. He was running third party, right? What his plan was to split the vote, right? He wanted to capture enough electoral votes so that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party would both be denied 270 electoral votes. You see, this Electoral College, it's set up in such a way you can have a jackass throw a monkey wrench in this so long as he's popular enough. Thankfully, Nixon ended up having. Oh, but wait. Here, this was his game plan, his gambit, right? So he was going to have just enough electoral college votes so that the Democrat and the Republican would not be able to claim victory. And so they would both have to come to him. He would be the kingmaker, right? And he would grant either of them the presidency if they would agree to do away with anti-segregation laws. He wanted the South to remain segregated. He wanted that. So whoever would agree to his white supremacist terms would then become the next president. So thankfully, as I was about to say earlier, Richard Nixon won like by a whopping 300 electoral votes and then some. So you busted. So this guy on the screen right now, his name is Birch Bay. This guy wrote the 25th Amendment. Those of you who are not familiar with the 25th Amendment, that's what we were trying to get rid of Trump with while he was in office. It's the amendment that says if someone is unfit to serve as president, they can be removed and replaced by the vice president. He also wrote the 26th Amendment, which lowered the voting age to 18. So Lyndon B. Johnson, back in the day, had asked him to reform the Electoral College since he already had some success with amendments and shit like that. So they came to the conclusion that the Electoral College could not be reformed. It would have to be abolished, right? And back then, there was bipartisan support for abolishing the Electoral College. And so the House, they passed this bill. It was a whopping 339. They passed this 339 to 70. And then it went on to the Senate, where it then died. Why? How did it die when there was such, overwhelming support, bipartisan support for it in the House? Well, you had racist senators like Strom Thurmond, who didn't want the Electoral College to be abolished. They liked it because that played in with their whole Southern their Southern strategy to stay in power. What the Southern strategy was, I'm gonna read it from here. You start out in 1954 by saying N-word, N-word, N-word. By 1968, you can't say N-word. That hurts you. It backfires. So you say stuff like forced busing, states' rights, and all that stuff. And now you're getting so abstract. Now you're talking about cutting taxes and all these things you're talking about are totally economic things. And a byproduct of them is blacks get hurt worse than whites. We want to cut this is much more abstract than the busing thing and a hell of a lot more abstract than N-word, N-word. No, it's not David Duke. This is Lee Atwater. He's just as bad as David Duke. You know, so that was the Southern strategy. It was being undercover racist through policies that would hurt people of color. That was their Southern strategy. So long as you give the white man a leg up on the black man, that's winning policy. That was their strategy for holding on to power. Anyway, when they tried to pass this through the Senate, it got blocked. And you know how it got blocked? One guess. How did this overwhelming support for abolishing the Electoral College, how did it get squashed in the Senate? It's one word. You know this word. Okay, I'm not going to wait anymore. There we go. Sherry Scary with filibuster. Indeed. Goddamn filibuster. It is the bane of our existence, even going back then, where it seemed like they had finally had a realistic shot at doing away with this antiquated electoral college. So, increasingly nowadays we are looking at a very different electorate, right? The voters, the faces of voters are changing every decade. Every year that goes by, every decade that goes by, the voters of today look very different than the voters from the 50s and the 60s. That's why you heard a lot of talk from Trump and people who gravitate to Trump about making America great again. When they said make America great again, they meant take it back to the 50s and 60s when there was more of us than there were of them. That's it. They won't say it out loud. I'm saying that out loud. That's the quiet part, out loud. There's more diversity. There's urban centers and cities that are much more populous than, the sparsely populated suburbs of Montana or Wyoming. They love to show, the Republicans, they love showing that map from 2016 where there's all these blocks of red. But there's nothing in those red spots other than tumbleweeds and, cow bones and shit like that. That's all there is in most of those red areas. The map has changed, right? So most of the people are concentrated in these urban areas. And when I say urban, yeah, I do mean where most of your people of color are. You don't like it, then, move to an urban area. Move somewhere where maybe your neighbor is a person of color. What's wrong with that? Huh? Besides, you don't even really have to, because people of color are spreading across the country. It's not a bad thing. You have no problem with Omicron spreading or Delta spreading. Let a person of color spread throughout the nation. It's not a bad thing. We won't put you on a ventilator. Come on, for crying out loud. So, yeah, empty, unpopulated space does not vote. Populated areas vote. So the whole notion of these states like Montana and Wyoming that have very small population, where their low population has as much, if not way more power than a place like California, which has millions and millions of votes. That's not right. It should be one vote, one person, one vote, and that's it. Just use the popular vote. Whoever gets the most votes, take this complicated elector thing out of the equation. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we have the Electoral College, and this last election was about to go bonkers mayhem because they wanted to convince some of these electors to be faithless. And what happens if they're successful? What happens if this bullshit, antiquated electoral college system fails us? You know what won't fail us? Math. One person, one vote. Whoever wins the most votes is the president. It's that simple. Do that. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. We really need to abolish the Electoral College. It's ridiculous. It's so complicated. All right, let's jump on into our main, our fun part of the show. It is Name That Musician in the Movies. So, how this is going to work is I'm going to advance the slide and I'm going to show you a picture, a scene from a movie in which the musician I am looking for starred in, right? This musician is a singer. He or she is part of a group, whatever. They're a musician. They have made albums that you have sung to on the radio. Yeah. And I'm going to read a brief synopsis of that movie to help you, because I have in most cases, blurred out the picture of that person. Okay? You ready? Here we go. Let's get started. First one. This movie revolves around 16-year-old Sarah's quest to reach the center of an enormous, otherworldly maze to rescue her infant half-brother Toby, whom Sarah accidentally wished away to Jareth, the Goblin King. Who is that musician? You know what? I like to test these things on Wifey, and I was like 4 words or 5 words into the first sentence, and Wifey was like, I got it. And so do most of you too. I've seen enough. The movie was Labyrinth, and the musician is none other than David Bowie. The Trump Reaper says, Jareth had a penis in Labyrinth. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. Meek Spees wants to abolish mumble rap, just so you know. Okay. The first one we have is Susie Brizuela, followed by the Trump Reaper, Eddie G. Cather Murphy. Meek Spees, you get partial credit for knowing the name of the movie, but I was looking for the name of the musician. Garden Always. Same thing for you. Let's see. Marie from New Jersey. Mia to you. Jamie from Wisconsin. Julianne Gauthier. Cindy C. Misha Oliver. Meek Spees. There you go. Cecile Kazemi. Samantha Hawkins. Wilbur McCarthy. Nurse Mitch. Scribble my dibbles. The damn Karen. Gavin Rutherford. Elaine Prieto. Good job, you guys. Good job. All right. Wait, did I hit this? Yeah, I did. All right. Next up. In this movie sequel, Max Rockatansky, a former MFP officer and lone warrior, encounters Auntie Entity, the ruthless, determined ruler of Bartertown. We don't need another hero. Da-da-dum. I've seen enough. We were looking for Miss Tina Turner in the movie Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And let's see, who do we have at the top here? Who do we have? We got a lot. Eddie G is at the top, followed by Mia Mia to You, Lee Saunders, Wendy Flores, Samantha Hawkins, the Trump Reaper, Kathy Murphy, Nurse Mitch, Julianne Gautier, Cha-Cha, Cindy C, Susie Brizuela, Maital Cabelli, Misha Oliver, Cecile Kazemi, Jen Murphy, Marie from New Jersey, Scribble My Dibbles, Monique Lee, Nurse Mitch, Kathleen Cross, Wojo Mom, that damn Karen, Meek Spees, yeah, here we go. We don't need another hero. Da-da-dum. All right, the next one. Next up. The people of Detroit know the name of this title as the city limit, a border, a boundary. It is also a psychological dividing line that separates Jimmy Smith Jr. from where and who he wants to be as a rapper. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs, but he keeps on forgetting. I've seen enough. Yes, we were looking for Eminem in the movie 8 Mile. It's a semi-autobiographical movie of this. Eminem is probably in my top 5, even maybe top 3 rappers of all time. Don't at me. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. It just, or actually, I made the rule on that one. Let's see who's at the top here. Sherry Scary is at the top, ladies and gentlemen, followed by Speedtopia, Lee Saunders, Chrissy M, Mia Mia to You, Cha-Cha, Eddie G, Scribble by Dibbles, Peter is a Boss, Julianne Gautier, Cindy C, Tracy M, Susie Brizuela, Monique Lee, Samantha Hawkins, Marie from New Jersey, Maital Cabelli, Misha Oliver, the Trump Reaper, Gavin Rutherford. Good job, you guys. Karen, that damn Karen, she got it too. Okay. Lee Saunders wants to know who's my top 3 then. It's also Rakim is got to be my top 1. Rakim is my top 1. And I don't know who's the third one in there. I'll have to get back to you on that. The top 2, that's easy. Okay. Next up, let's go. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. A victim of his own anger, the kid is a Minneapolis musician on the rise with his band, The Revolution, escaping a tumultuous home life through music. trying to make this all serious and silly at the same time. I have seen enough. All right, I feel like I've seen Sade's name in this chat already a whole bunch of times so far, and I'm just wondering, are you guys trying to do with Sade what you do with Jethro Tull? Don't do that. We're looking for Prince. The movie was Purple Rain. So a scribble my did was asking Tupac. Tupac is up there. He's up there. I gotta say, I like Biggie a little slight edge more than Tupac. Again, you can't at me. It's my own personal thing. I don't know if I would put Biggie in the top 3 though. Okay, at the top here, this top, we have Cindy C, followed by Nurse Mitch, Mia Mia to You, the Trump Reaper, Eddie G. Eddie G just threw a whole bunch of names up there. Prince, Mars Day, The Time, Apollonia, somebody. Misha Oliver, Gavin Rutherford, Susie Briswella, Cecile Kazemi, Samantha Hawkins, Julianne Gautier, Wendy Flores says Prince, also known as Sade. That's what I don't get. I don't get that, Wendy. Sherry Scary, Kathleen Cross, Kimberly Moss, Chrissy M, Cha Cha, Fox Hill Dreams, That Damn Karen, Wilbur McCarthy, Monique Lee, Corey Lord. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right, this next one. When Harlem schoolteacher Dorothy tries to save her dog from a storm, she's miraculously whisked away to an urban fantasy land where she meets this character who is currently dressed as a scarecrow. Who is the scarecrow in this fantastical movie? Who is the scarecrow? I have seen enough. Come on and ease on down the road. We're looking for Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. And let's see. You guys are still going on about the rapper. Let's see. Here we go. Sherry Scary at the top with Michael Jackson, followed by Meek Spees, Garden Always, Mia Mia to You, Cecile Kazemi, Jen Murphy, Julianne Gautier, Eddie G, Speedtopia, Gavin Rutherford, Studio LB, Susie Briswella, Marie from New Jersey, Valerie G, Kathleen Cross, Cha Cha, Sherry Scary, Samantha Hawkins, Peter Zabaz, The Trump Ripper, Scribble My Dibbles, Nurse Mitch, Fox Hill Dreams, Lee Saunders. Good job, you guys. Good job. All right. Here's the next one. Seasoned musician Jackson Maine discovers and falls in love with struggling artist Allie. She has just about given up on her dream to make it big as a singer until Jackson coaxes her into the spotlight. Who is she? Ra-ta-ta-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, I've seen enough. In the Shallow, we were looking for Lady Gaga, starring in A Star is Born. And let's see, who do we have at the top? Who do we have? Eddie G. Excuse me, Eddie G. Followed by Meek Spees, Lee Saunders, Speedtopia, Mia Mia to You, Samantha Hawkins, Chrissy M, Misha Oliver, Cecile Kazemi, Sherry Scary, Monique Lee, Julianne Gautier, Marie from New Jersey, Mia Mia to You, Nurse Mitch, Cindy C, Susie Brizuela, Cha Cha, Peter is a Boss, Jen Murphy, Gavin Rutherford, Valerie G, Wilbur McCarthy, Kathleen Cross, Corey Lord, Fox Hill Dreams. Good job, you guys. Good job. Very good. Very good. Moving right along. Here we go. Here's the next one. After being fired from her job as a bank teller, Frankie, played by Vivica Fox, begins working at a janitorial service with her three friends who are all struggling with their finances, so they decide to start robbing banks. Which one of them is a musician, a musical star in this movie? Well, she wasn't a musician in the movie per se. In real life, she's a musician. In this, she's a bank robbing janitor. All right. I've seen enough. And I've seen this movie a whole lot of times. The name of the movie, Set It Off. The name of the musician is none other than Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah. And Cindy C is at the top, followed by Eddie G, Mia Mia to You, Peter is a Boss, Nurse Mitch, Marie from New... Nope, sorry, Marie. Sherry Scary, Samantha Hawkins, Julianne Gautier, Cecile Kazemi, Susie Brizuela, Monique Lee, Cha Cha, Peter is a Boss, Misha Oliver, Wilbur McCarthy. Good job, you guys. Good job. Next up, Danny Ocean calls on some of his World War II buddies to pull off an elaborate New Year's Eve heist at 5 casinos in Las Vegas in the original version of this movie, which was then remade in a movie of the same name later on in the 90s, I think it was. This individual, he happens to be blurred here in the picture, but it appears that many of you were not fooled. You know who it is, so I've seen enough. It was old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra, baby, in Ocean's 11. And let's see, who do we have at the top of this list here? Eddie G is at the top, followed by Gavin Rutherford, Cha Cha, Monique Lee, Nurse Mitch, Samantha Hawkins, Scribble My Dibbles, Cecile Kazemi, Garden Always, Peter is a Boss, Mia Mia to You, Misha Oliver, Cindy C, Julianne Gautier, The Trump Reaper, Fox Hill Dreams, Lee Saunders, Wilbur McCarthy, Valerie G, Susie Brizuela, Wojo Mom, Kathleen Cross. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. Oh, you know, Sherry Scary, you're funny as hell because I keep seeing the emojis in your Your chat where you show a picture of a cow and then a picture of a bell. I was like, what is she trying to say? Duh. All right. Next up. This is going to be a tough one here. This one kind of tough. In a future where time is money and the wealthy can live forever, Will Salas is a poor man who rarely has more than a day's worth of life on his time clock. When he saves Henry Hamilton from time thieves, Will receives the gift of a century. Ooh, Trump Reaper says similar to Logan's Run. I might have to check that movie out. I feel like I saw that. That's from the 70s. All right, I've seen enough. We're looking for the movie called In Time, starring Justin Timberlake was the name we were looking for. Justin Timberlake, ladies and gentlemen, or as Gavin Rutherford calls him, Jethro Timbertall. That's very clever, Gavin. Okay, let's see. At the top, hey, we got Mia Mia to You, followed by Scribble My Dibbles, Samantha Hawkins, Misha Oliver, Cecile Kazemi, Eddie G, Julianne Goutier, Nurse Mitch, Susie Brizuela, Peter is a Boss, Monique Lee, Cha Cha, Cindy C, Gavin Rutherford with Jethro Timbertall, Susie Brizuela, Corey Lord. Good job, you guys. Good job. Last one here. Oh, excuse me. We have an update here to a previous question. Marie from New Jersey is pointing out that she's stuck on Queen Latifah. She should have gotten credit for that one because Dana Owens is her real name. Thank you for that. You get bonus points for that. I didn't even know. I'm so sorry that I missed you on that. Did not know Dana Owens was Queen Latifah's real name. Thank you, Marie from New Jersey. That's fantastic. I just learned something new. All right, here's the next one. And the final one in this game here. Hard-boiled detective Dick Tracy is searching for evidence that proves Alphonse Big Boy Caprice is the city's most dangerous crime boss. He may have found the key to unraveling the crime lord's illegal empire in Breathless Mahoney, an enigmatic barroom singer who has witnessed some of Caprice's crimes firsthand. I've seen enough. You guys were very quick on this one. Like, 3 words in, you're like, that's Madonna. I know Madonna when I see her. Yes, Madonna indeed is the correct answer for the movie Dick Tracy. And let's see, who do we have at the top here? It appears to be Eddie G is at the top, followed by Susie Brizuela, Mia Mia to You, Peter is a Boss, Monique Lee, Nurse Mitch, Trump Reaper, Cindy C, Sherry Scary, Cecilia Gazibi, Julianne Gautier, Misha Oliver, Lee Saunders, Cha Cha, Fox Hill Dreams, Scribble My Dibbles, Valerie G, Samantha Hawkins, Garden Always, Gavin Rutherford, Wojo Mom, Wilbur McCarthy, and why am I getting so many calls? Okay. Big Boy did it. Okay, that's it for the game. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for playing. And now we're going to move on to our next and final segment of the show. It is it is Rising Star.
Hooray!
Rising Star. And our rising star for today is none other than a much maligned member of our Department of Justice. It is none other than Merrick Garland, who gave a speech today, a rather lengthy speech that kind of seemed to defend the work he has done in holding the January 6th attackers accountable.
The actions we have taken thus far will not be our last. The Justice Department remains committed to holding all January 6 perpetrators at any level accountable under law, whether they were present that day or were otherwise criminally responsible for the assault on our democracy. We will follow the facts wherever they lead. Because January 6 was an unprecedented attack on the seat of our democracy, we understand that there is broad public interest in our investigation. We understand that there are questions about how long the investigation will take and about what exactly we are doing. Our answer is, and will continue to be, the same answer we would give with respect to any ongoing investigation. As long as it takes, and whatever it takes, for justice to be done consistent with the facts and the law.
At any level. If you didn't see this speech, you probably have a shot at seeing good portions of of the speech in tonight's shows, whether it's Chris Hayes or Rachel or Lawrence or who's standing in for Brian Williams now. I don't even know, but his speech. I told you guys I was very impatient with Merrick Garland. It seemed like there's a lot writing on this investigation. I myself was concerned against that. The clock is ticking. That as soon as election day happens in November of this year, whatever investigations are going on are going to be dead. But he has assured us that they are conducting these investigations independent of politics. They're doing what they have to do. And they are getting after the small fish so that they can get the bigger fish at any level, he said. Now, 725 people have been charged. Again, mostly small fish, but they lead to the bigger fish. 5,000 subpoenas have been issued. 2,000 devices have been seized. 200,000 hours of video have been reviewed. 300,000 tips. So he came out to make this speech with the purpose of saying, "Oh, calm your asses down. Brother's trying to get some work done up in this piece." Look, he has a track record going back to the Timothy McVeigh Oklahoma bombing thing. He's batting 1,000 from back then. He wants to make sure that this investigation is done thorough and done correctly, because when you do it thorough and you do it correct, you have better results with convictions, and that's what he wants to get, is the convictions. So I personally am going to calm my ass down. I'm going to, what choice do I have? I can be all mad in my living room and get riled up and, tweet angry things. And there's no guarantee that I won't lose patience a month from now. I'm not saying that a month from now I'm going to still be cooling my heels and like, yeah, man, be patient. No, I might be fed up. Part of the problem is our media, you know, the MSNBCs and the CNNs, when you have the commentators who they kind of get us riled up too. They're like, all these facts are coming out and nothing is happening. Why isn't anything happening? And we're watching like, yeah, why isn't anything happening? These pretzels are making me thirsty. You know? Yeah. So we all need to take a little bit of a chill pill. You know, we're accustomed to watching justice pass by the higher ups on any level. We're accustomed to seeing that shit. We spent 4 years of watching that. So we're assuming that that's what's happening. And Merrick Garland is insisting that it's not happening. So, benefit of the doubt. I'm ready. Benefit of the doubt. Because, you know, these pretzels are making me thirsty. So I'll just take a sip of some coffee or some shit. Get over myself. Right? Damn it. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I have once again run past. I'm not even going to, whatever. My show is as long as the hell it needs to be. Why am I always like, oh, my show is running long? I'm the boss of this show. It's as long as I say it needs to be. No, I realize that some of you, I'm grateful, are staying up well past your bedtime. My friends over there in Europe, yeah? In London, England, in Portugal. Yeah. I love you guys. All right, so I got time for one question. As such, one question. Yeah, I have an angry all caps question from M Getz. I don't think this is an actual question. I think it's one of those, you know, it's rhetorical. He's just blowing off some steam. M Getz, let's see. How many years and how much do we have to listen to before something actually happens? Nothing is happening? Are we just settling now? Maybe Trump really can shoot someone on Fifth Ave. No, my friend, no. Merrick Garland assures us that he is getting his ducks in a row. I believe him. I do believe him. We give him some space. Any level, he says. Any level. He told the whole world. Any level. That means that level. Let's see. Leeds. Thank you, Lee Saunders. Lee Saunders is in Leeds. Stella Baxter wants to know, did the diet start? No, the diet has not started. As I explained to you guys on Monday, wifey was feeling a bit under the weather, so we didn't want to start. We're both doing this thing together, right? So we don't want to start on a bad foot, right? When you're not feeling great, you know, you need to eat all the good foods and, you know, the comfort foods, they are carbs and shit. You know, we're putting it off until most likely Monday, this coming Monday. This coming Monday, which means another Friday of pizza. Woohoo! Yeah, I can't eat any pizza on that diet. No pizza, no cheese, no soda, nothing. Did did I know Lee is from Leeds? Isn't Leeds in the UK? When I say England or London, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry, Lee. When I say London, I'm just thinking United Kingdom. Specifically, I will make sure I say Leeds. Lee from Leeds, UK. Okay, why can't we swim January 6th and January 3rd around? Switch? Anyone who doesn't certify the election can't be seated. I don't know. The Trump Reaper asked both questions. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. And if you have not gotten your shot yet, what are you waiting for? Get that damn shot. Get the booster. Do what's right for you and your family and your body and all that stuff. Make sure you wear a mask. Keep your social distance. 6 feet or better. And have a beautiful, wonderful, relaxing evening. As you know, I won't be here mañana. I will be back here Friday. Same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Boom. Terrific job once again by our moderators. Thank you for disposing of those weird, creepy bots. I don't know where they were coming from. That was weird. Hey! Studio LB says, have a great Wednesday. I don't know why I love saying it like that. Wednesday. M gets the answer to that is both. Boxer briefs. It is boxer briefs. Hey! I love this song. I don't know why I love it so much. So much fun. Teresa Patch managed to get her dinner done while listening to the show. Cindy C, yes, I did see DeSantis gasping for air. I thought it looked like he wanted to cry. I wasn't sure what was going on in that video. Well, I saw it looked like he wanted to cry. Yeah. Not sure, Deb B. I don't know if he has COVID. It does look like it. Yeah. All right, you guys. Yeah, whatever DeSantis has, they're gonna make it look like he has something else. Oh, it's allergies. Oh, he was feeling emotional about something. Oh, he had an itch on his balls. Whatever they're gonna say. Anyway, you guys, it's that time. You need to leave.